Yeah, Candace Owens is running around talking about a trap door potentially. Candace basically saying, do I have evidence Charlie Kirk was killed by a shooter who hid behind a trap door beneath his feet? No. But it's alarming that the federal government hasn't investigated this because that's what happened. She's insane, says Pedro L. Gonzalez.
Pipeline.
Is she insane or is she the most sane out of all of us? Oh my God. It's hard. It's hard for me when the administration is so desperately attempting to create a profile of the shooter that will allow them to stamp out any sort of leftist opposition. It is so hard for me not to lean into these guys who are very clearly destroying that narrative every single day with their ginormous audience of right-wingers. Hard for me to look at this, give horse, I guess, and say, no, the teeth are perfectly fine. I'm going to look at the gift horse in the mouth and say, no, the teeth, not so great.
Almost exactly behind where Charlie was sitting. Here's that maybe it's a water pipeline. I don't know, but there it is under the flag. And to your right.
My favorite version of this was they were saying that the auditorium, like the outdoor seating that Charlie Kirk was at the center of, looked like the candles that you light during Hanukkah, a menorah. Awesome, dude. Respect to the mentally ill. You know what I mean? Shout out mental illness, dude. Y'all are really cooking with gasoline, okay?
I went into my tips line and I saw that somebody had messaged me about this. More than one person messaged me about this. They're like, hey, yeah, there's like a whole underground thing there. And to your right, you're observing those two little boxes. And they told me that was a trap door. Now, I'm not implying someone, popped up and shot Charlie, but that's a close-up of that area. I'm just implying that there's an entire underground there. And I remember
Hamas tunnel or the same kind of tunnel system that we saw in New York in the Chabad tunnel, like the ones we saw in Brooklyn. I'm just saying, the year of the tunnel continues. Yeah.
When I looked at the footage, I felt like it was coming up. I don't know anything about ballistics. I'm not an expert, but if there was a hatch door nearby, then we can assume, as we should always assume,
this is where Charlie Kirk was sacrificed. Bro, come on, bro. That's crazy. Oh, hell yeah. People have fucking lost their dang minds. There's not really much you can do in this situation. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. Let's keep it going.
Colleges, obviously stadiums, there's always an underground path. So I'm wondering if the federal government has explored the possibility that somebody could have been under Charlie and done that while everyone's looking around and thinking that a shot went off from here, if that was just maybe like decoy number 2 and actually Charlie was shot from beneath him, which then could maybe explain why there was no exit wound. Again, I'm theorizing because I have a right to. I have a right to think.
Yo, she has a right to think. That's true. Hey, more power to Candace Owens. She has a right to think.
And that is interesting to me. Where does it go?
There was a Twitter response to that photo also saying, I'm a literal Nazi and I think this is bullshit. Yeah.
Where do the tunnels underneath UVU lead to, right? That's an interesting question. Maybe everyone's looking up when we should be looking below.
You can't stop calling her Candace? I don't know what you're talking about. I never did. This is an issue of utmost importance. Breaking. Candace Owen was able to speak with the man who recorded the alleged footage of Tyler Robinson on the roof before the shooting. His testimony completely contradicts everything we've been told by the FBI. His footage was recorded just 20 seconds before Charlie Kirk's assassination, according to the timestamp. He allegedly saw the shooter holding a smaller firearm and believes Charlie was shot with a lightweight bullet. This witness also provided a description to law enforcement that was never released to the public. He says the assassin was wearing tactical gear, a face mask, and looked like a foreign agent. Wow.
Very much, and maybe this is a poor way of saying it, a straight shooter said, yes, I have training. And I don't want to give too many identifying details here, but this person himself has a lot of experience with guns and knows guns and, helps to train people in that sort of a capacity, and said that they observed that individual, the FBI saying that the shooter dropped onto the roof at 12:15 didn't make sense to him. He said earliest it was 12:22. that the individual ran across.
This was a tactical style individual that was doing a tactical ascertainment in the moment.
Set up, took the shot, and I said, well, you must have been there, because he then sends me I wanted to see all of the metadata of when he took that footage, and the metadata begins at 12:22 and goes into 12:23, the very minute that Charlie gets shot. And he says, yeah, I saw the shot. I had just stopped recording about 20 seconds before the shot rang out. And he said that he told them a description of.
I never saw coming to the whole deep conspiracy nature of the Trump supporters might backfire, gives hope in a weird way. Yeah, that's why I'm just observing. Not everything needs a reaction. Sometimes it's okay to just admire from afar. Okay? I'm just observing. I'm tactically ascertaining. I'm tactically engaging in the act of observation. You can sit back and observe sometimes. Okay? That's what's going on here.
What the shooter looked like, and it was not the description that the entire world received less than 24 hours later of this person, Tyler Robinson, wearing jeans. I said, was he wearing jeans? He said, no. Actually, this person was dressed in tactical gear, and he was wearing a face mask. And he said, according to him, like I said, he has a lot of experience with guns, that this person looked to him like a foreign agent. I don't know if he's wearing all black, how he got that, but he said there's no.
I believe him. He looked Israeli. The amount of mental illness I have seen about the Charlie Kirk stuff on the timeline, where the administration is like so desperately trying to create this perfect narrative about Trantifa, and these guys are like, nope, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. There is so much. Nope, that was definitely, he's Mossad. He's Jewish. I know. He was wearing a kippah. That's right. It's pretty crazy.
He was very certain that this person was skilled, knew exactly what he was doing, and was highly trained, like a highly trained assassin, so to speak. Okay.
Man, being white is so OP. Nazis will invent false flag to get you off charges. Oh, yeah. No, you saw what happened once they found out that he wasn't just any kind of white guy, but he was the type of white guy from like a MAGA loving Mormon family. Everybody literally was like, oh, oh shit. Oh God. We got to pray for his soul. We got to pray for his soul, man. Like, we got to pray for his goddamn soul. Okay. You understand me? It's amazing. That's all it took.
He then says something else. As soon as George Zinn got arrested and that started circulating, he ran to someone on campus and said, this is the wrong person. I observed this person with my eyes. You have the complete wrong description. The person you're looking for is wearing tactical gear and is obviously young, because I watched him sprint back after taking the shot. I saw this with my own two eyes. And for whatever reason, that never made its way out that we can see of a description of a person wearing tactical gear. We're kind of left with this idea that he was wearing the now infamous veterans shirt with the American flag on it and some jeans. So he also said something that we had not heard, which is that he knows guns, and the gun that the FBI found was not the gun that he saw. That the gun that he saw was smaller. And I'm going to read you directly a text message that he sent me, again, protecting his identity. He said, watching the video of the impact, hearing the sharp crack instead of a big hunting rifle's boom, and seeing what looked like a shorter rifle platform, albeit with the absence of the shape of a standard 30-round magazine, the assassin may have used a 10 or 20-round magazine, only expecting to shoot once or twice. I would guess that he was shot with a Hornady V.
No, I can't watch that, bro. That one has 5 million views. That video is just blood and gore. I'm pretty sure that
Ladies
video,
and gentlemen,
straight up shows step by step the like all like frame by frame. It shows the exact moment where he's like shot and like blood pouring out and all this stuff. So I can't. Oh my lord, he has literally. There's a photo of another random guy who's been shot as well. Hassan, please look up Explore Talent and how Candace Owens and Erica Kirk were a part of it. Erica also worked for Trump at 17. They opened a Christian ministry in Romania where they had kids going missing, which were mainly orphans. There's a crazy person in here. No, that is another That is another thing that people are talking about. Erica Kirk was Miss Arizona for when Trump owned it, okay? Owned the beauty pageant. That's true. I'm not entirely certain about the Romania connection, but I do know that she did move to Arizona because her parents were working for the Department of Homeland Security. So that part is correct. The Trump connection, I guess, is correct, but I'm not sure about the Romania angle. But her parents were in the DHS. They got a job in Arizona for that reason. And that's why she moved to Arizona. And they did meet for the first time ever. Her and Charlie Kirk actually met in line to take a flight to Israel. That part is also correct. This video has 5.2 million views in 2 days. Okay. Another GunTuber guy. His name is Range Daybro. I'm not going to show you the actual incident because he like straight up shows it. I think he shows it like, I don't know exactly when he shows it, like maybe around here. 40 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now have acquired proof that the FBI's official story is false, whether knowingly or unknowingly. We're going to have an entire monologue and talk about a lot of these things.
Wait, okay, first start here. Rough start. Big major proof instantly. Major proof that he has is of TikTok video of someone talking into a toilet microphone. So then this video already got debunked. This guy thinks he sees blood from behind, but it was his earpiece. Yeah, actually, honestly, I don't want to watch this because I'm worried about getting banned. For exposing the truth, that is. I mean, a cursory glance here talks about how the bullet trajectory is exactly the opposite direction. And that's his assessment, is that like there's a second shooter and the guy that they got is a patsy. And most of it is actually showing the blood and gore and stuff. At 6:30, he shows a pic of the second shooter. Here, we'll just show
Ladies and gentlemen.
He believes that there's a second shooter, okay? He believes that there's a second shooter, and that part starts here.
I want to take a look at this photo next. This guy's talking about this bush up here in the top left of this photo, and he zooms in on it, and he's stating that it does look suspicious. It does look suspicious. It looks like there is a person right here, and it looks like there is a rifle right here that the person is holding. A hand here, a support hand, sort of very blurry image, but you can clearly make out that this is not just a bush. This is a human skin tone right here, and this correlates with human head and hair. And
does he actually go back to the shooting at all? No. Okay, from this point on, he doesn't show
a rifle in the exact kind of crucifix shape of an AR-15 with an optic on it mounted up. So good on this dude for finding this photo and looking for, like he said, hours of going through photos and videos until he saw this. This would 100% line up with the actual shot that we've now proven was not taken from the front, was taken from the back side of Charlie. This would line up exactly with that bullet trajectory and the entry and exit wound that we exhibited, that we saw here on camera.
I like that he put the little shooter up there.
So, guys, this is a very heavy topic. I do not want to believe that this is possible, that the FBI either knowingly or unknowingly missed this. And I'll leave that up for you guys to speculate on. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. All I know is that 100% Charlie was not shot from the front. It is very clear that he was shot from the side, most likely by this bush up here, this man in the bush, whatever you want to call him. It has been very clear to me.
That's the big evidence? Oh my God. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook.